Hello there, this is Corey Davis, one of the creative directors at Tangentlemen, and I'm here to show you Here They Lie, but I'm with some special guests. With me are some of the developers from Tangentlemen.
Hi, I'm Richard Smith, the art director on Here They Lie.
Hi, I'm Ricardo Taban, I'm senior animator.
Hi, I'm Stephen Ratter, senior environment artist.
And these guys helped us put together this crazy experience that we want to walk you through a little bit here. Now, right here on my left is one of these creatures that you meet down here in these alleyways, who we call the naked others. And you're going to start seeing a few more of these here as we walk across these sort of broken planks and head deeper into the abyss.
Yeah, and that's a pie on the edge of that scaffolding. There's a lot of pies.
It's dark,
It's terrifying.
terrifying
Pie
pie,
is delicious.
existential pie.
Existential
Steve,
pie
what
is
kind of
the
pie
best
is it?
Yeah, what kind of pie is it?
It's an eel pie.
An eel pie.
That's the stock.
That's disgusting.
Is that what this guy eats?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, up in the marketplace, I think they were selling eels, weren't they?
They were, and there's other places where people are baking pies. There's a lot of pie in all of
And so that guy just saw that you were coming near his pie, so he threw that trash can off there. That guy's name is The Follower, and he's a really creepy guy. Like, you've already been introduced to sort of the faction that he comes from, which I mentioned is the Naked Others that have these antler horns, but he's an outcast from that group. Maybe you talk a little bit about how he came to like the style of his movement and things like that.
The broken antlers instead of the full antlers. Well, that whole class was super interesting to deal with. It was figuring out how an animalistic, reverting back to an animalistic sort of humanity would kind of look like, and it was hard to come by until Rich, Toby, and a stunt guy called Scott Lang that I work with on Planet of the Apes got together and figured out this weird way to move that would feel animal-like, quadruped-like, but it will still have a human element to it. And then we had him do some really funky stuff too.
What are you doing over there? That's not right. That's not right. You don't treat a body slumped over
I think he was giving him
like that.
He's giving him CPR. He's trying to help him out.
So all the characters in this game are based off of scans of two individuals, and that was a kind of willful thing that we did to show that it's almost like a dark Adam and Eve type of thing, where everyone they hear is and like in a dream where you're seeing recurring characters or irrationally repeating characters. It has that.
And this one starts following you around. That's what's happening here. Basically, is we just scared him out of his little lair there. It's also interesting the way that you guys went around and scanned a bunch of like trash and even sleeping locations that have been left around Los Angeles and things like that, and got his sort of flavor into this realism zone for the game as well.
Yeah, I'd been playing around with photogrammetry for a while as a kind of off-site hobby, and I really liked the work that DICE had been doing in this mode where they're kind of capturing the world and bringing it into their games. And I was like, man, we got to get some, because it's almost like like Jim Jarmusch, how he does his movies. He wants it all to be very authentic and kind of have some connection to him directly. So I was like, all right, we're gonna, let's try and do the video game version of that. And I think that's it's one of the good feelings in the game is that sense that they're not separate from the world. It's like you can recognize what you see in this.
The world is in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, Steve, what's all this weirdness here? What are these cables and all this?
Yeah, is this hair? Are these veins?
It looks like in a jungle, ropey vines.
Ooh, we should swing on it.
It's an overgrown, out of control version of humanity that's sort of lost or forgotten, and that's come to reclaim.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Someone exploded right there.
It's like the no straight hallways, or we're trying to kind of make everything's got a Dutch angle to it. Everything's kind of a little awkward.
It's twisted, and it's like a nightmare. Like you were mentioning the Jim Jarmusch movies. My personal nightmares are a lot like that, where like I feel like I'm legitimately believing that I'm in a space, and then something like that happens, totally. where this guy just crawled by on all fours. Who the hell was that? Yeah, David Lynch as well.
When you turn there, you'll see that it's not just like a straight-on crawl, but there's a lot of craziness going on and a lot of weird
kind of spinning,
sort of
flipping.
It kind of makes you realize, what is that? What's he about? What's his deal?
Exactly.
He's sort of forgotten how to walk. He's someone's version of what a person might be like, but they kind of forgot, or they were told how a person walks.
Yeah, it's like they are here amongst the technology of a forgotten people, and it's still running, it's still working. It was very useful at one point, but it's not understood at all anymore to these strange humans that are crawling around these dark spaces. And so now you can notice we've gone further and further down, and the city is sort of towering both above and below us here, these alleyways. And you're seeing this strange mix of technology as these TVs are still running here, and the nightmare is haunting this area. Right. So we're moving a little closer down here. You're hearing more and more of these naked others surrounding us. We really wanted you to have this feeling of dread that was bubbling up underneath your skin throughout the experience. And I think this is one of those moments where we saw focus testers really sort of move very, very slowly into this space because they can hear the sounds of the naked others sort of bouncing off of these walls.
Yeah, we really wanted a sense of uneasiness in everything,
right?
From the visuals all the way to the motions, which was sometimes very hard to find. A lot of trial and error. Okay, does this make you feel uneasy? No. How about this? Does this make you feel weird?
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of times it's like the player is being asked to. It always feels like he's walking in on it, like you're kind of being included in the guilt of what you're seeing around you. You're not separate from it, right? So
yeah, it's part.
A lot of times it's just the really awkward sense of being in a weird relationship with another person, like. That person's like covered in mud and you can't parse what their face looks like.
Yeah, it was really amazing when we went from sort of the gray box look of these areas to filling them out with scanned real world objects and texturing them, and then getting those characters in the world that are the same scale as you as the player, and feeling like they're actually there inhabiting this world just like you are. We wanted to push that as far as we can.
Oh man, this is pretty interesting. This is Rich, our director. That's actually his motion.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite parts of the game, because it's in the early days it was going to be us. It was just going to be us doing the motions, doing everything in the game, and then we got professionals to get involved with the stunts and the movement. But a lot of that original motion, a lot of that original animation did make it into the game. You have Rich jumping at you. You have actually myself is the player's motion set. And later on, you see me jump from like the rafters or something like that.
We set up like big boxes, right? And
yes.
Jumped in. Yeah, it was super fun, all that stuff.
Yeah, and this place down here, we just passed the really strange clock as well. This is a place that is constantly making you wonder when in time it takes place. And actually that clock, just to give you a little hint there, if you stare at it, you go on a very strange sort of surreal hallucination for a moment there. And that's a theme that runs throughout the game as well. Oh, who's that?
That was
that was me.
So that was the motion that Ricardo was talking about there. If you go and look at that scene up close, you'll see him actually jump out of the rafters, and that was our animation lead here, Ricardo.
Yeah, and another thing that I really love about the evolution of the animation of the game is at first the game was going to be just like pre-can animation kind of things happening to you that would kind of put you on ease. But then it evolved, and those guys became fully AI, which made them so much more scary than before, not knowing when they're going to turn on you and when they're going to come out and attack you.
Yeah, it was pretty funny even watching the developers get freaked out on the team, the level designers and things like that, as they're going down into these really dark areas, and the AI makes some decision that they're not used to, and the sound creeps them out as well, even though they helped design the scene. So here is along decorating this, if we don't get seen by this guy, get back there. So there's a bunch of stacks of newspapers and stuff in here. Steve, what's all this stuff?
Yeah, this is just the reading room where there's tons of reading material that's sort of been hoarded. I think we've had some ideas about hoarding and sort of obsessive
behavior, manic behavior being expressed in the world as if it's generations old.
And as you get into certain areas here, you'll see these growths of these creatures and mollusks, and that starts to signal something else too. So that's a theme and a brush that we use in certain areas.
And this whole sort of descent into madness throughout the experience is just rife with these moment-to-moment experiences where you're like, how the hell could this possibly be here? There's these doors that open up into new realities throughout the experience. So this is sort of one place where you start out as the player, but you're going to end up someplace much, much different. And really around every single corner, you might be terrified, or you might have your mind blown by the sort of hallucination or surreal experience you're about to have. And we're going to go down into one of those now. Oh my God!
Unsafe.
But yeah, we're the Tangentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Here They Lie is available now on both PSVR and Standard Edition.
PlayStation